هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو.
When you talk in terms of the coming election, the attitude of the Ummah had always been to allow a level playing ground, to allow all the political generalissimo to go to the field and market their manifesto. What exactly do they want to put in place to make life better for the ordinary Nigerian, irrespective of tribe, ethnicity, religion, or whatever. But quite unfortunately, the Christian community, especially the Christian Association of Nigeria, added an unnecessary embellishment, a totally unwarranted scope to the electoral process. Initially, through the grapevine, it gained currency in the social media, in the Orthodox media, and what have you. Now the Christians were bent on having a Christian at Aso Rock, irrespective of his qualification, his antecedents, his morality, and what have you. The basic thing, the underlying factor that was behind all the propaganda of Christendom was to take over the political control of Nigeria and probably use it to subjugate, oppress, suppress, and make Muslims pay the second fiddle, if possible a third fiddle, to be inconsequential in the political arena in the country. And therefore, they were backing Nyesom Wike in the PDP. They did not hide their preference for a pastor who is extremely committed to Christianization, and being a pastor of the Redeemed Church had used influence as the vice president. That is Professor Pastor Yemi Osinbajo. He had used his influence in government to put members of Redeemed in strategic positions. But this time around, the Christian community wanted to push him to be the president so that the Muslims would have no say in the affairs of this country. And most unfortunately, the Muslims were just, as usual, sleeping, just looking, doing nothing, at least to push forward their own candidate. But Allah said the plan, and also Allah plan, analyze the best of planners. Without any effort, any meaningful effort, the Supreme Council did not issue a release. They did not call a meeting of Muslims all over the country. They did not call for donations, which we knew the Christians got from within and outside Nigeria in order to impose a Christian on us and continue to harass and suppress the Muslims. The Supreme Council, under the leadership of His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, did not call any meeting did not issue any release when we had, and it was not hidden. It was an open issue by the Christians under the leadership of Khan, that they now have a department that was going to make sure that Christians take control of this country at all levels, with its southwest, south-south, northeast, northwest, and all the whatnot. They said it openly. But as Allah would have it, at the end of the day, all their plans crashed like a pack of cards. All their plots nosedived into nothingness. And they became a wounded lion. And they want to torpedo the efforts of any Muslims to take over the control of this country. Unfortunately for them, and I think unfortunately for them, they were able to get a man who had been in APGA, a man who had been in PDP, now to come out and condemn all the other parties and said he has the wherewithal, he has the answers to all the problems of Nigeria, be it economic, political, security, and what have you. And one would have asked the question when he was governor of Anambra State, that is Peter Obi. What exactly did he achieve to be able to convince an average and discerning Nigerian that he can do better than somebody like Tinubu, for instance, or even somebody like Atiku? And like the answers, quote and unquote revolution, which a lot of Yoruba Muslims bought into, unknown to them, that was a Biafran agenda. That Kanu was in London giving instruction that TVC that belonged to Tinubu should be burnt down, which eventually everybody got to know, that the nation that belonged to Tinubu, which means that their effort was to desecrate, to bring down anything that has to do with an average Yoruba man, and eventually, coincidentally, happens to be a Muslim. And at the end of the day, for political expediency, as a strategist, and Tinubu is one, you can't take that away from him. He's a political strategist. He has shown people like Chief Matthew Okikiola, Obasanjo, the Ebora of Owu, who some people nickname Aburumaku. He had a time to cross sword with him when the whole of the Southwest was in the hands of the ACN, if I get it right, and all the other governors were deceived by Obasanjo that they should be brothers, they are all Yorubas, they should work together, and so on. So Tinubu that saw the deceit, the strategy, maybe it's military strategies, to outsmart all the opposition of the PDP at that time. And he refused to play ball. And at the end of the day, he was the only man standing. All the other states in the Southwest went to PDP because of the trick and deception of Obasanjo. And this guy still looks like a very, very intelligent political strategist. And he has seen that to win at this election, He doesn't have to think about a Muslim Christian ticket, looking at the political geography of Nigeria. The Christians in the north, having seen a Christian presidential candidate in Obi, even if, like El-Rufai said, may Allah bless him, when he refused to pick, and it has become a norm now in Kaduna State, like the coming election, all the political parties in Kaduna State now have a Muslim ticket. He said it. That if you pick the Pope as his vice president, the Christians in the north are so anti-Islamic, they are suffering from Islamophobia, they will not vote for him, even if he went to Rome and bring the Pope to be his vice president. And that was exactly how he was able to show the numerical inferiority of the Christians in Kaduna State. And if Tinubu had gone out of his way, stupidly, foolishly, irresponsibly, unstrategically, to pick a northern Christian, we would by now have written his political obituary. Because an average Christian in the north will not vote for a Muslim. They hate the Muslims. They love to hate the Muslims. They will not. So what is the essence of going to an election based on sentiment? That you want to please the Christians who don't want to be pleased? And it had happened before in this country. When Chief Mashood Kakashimawo, Olawale Abiola, may Allah bless his soul, picked Ambassador Kingibe as his vice president, he won the election. And at that time, if you like it, Tinubu was a political pupil. He was following MKO all over the place. So he had learned a lot from MK Abiola, and he decided to pick a Muslim. That is the only strategy that can win an election in the north, because the northerners, whether you like it or not, would rather vote for a Muslim than go and vote for a Christian, because they know that to them Islam first, any other thing should second. And I used to say it, that we have a tale of two governors, one in the north, one in the southwest. Yes, El-Rufai is a very cantankerous politician. He says it as he sees it, without any qualms. And a lot of people hate him because he is brutally frank. The same thing we had Ajimabi, who had the same mannerism, and he was supporting the cause of Islam against Christian evangelism. So why the Muslims in Kaduna State, irrespective of their political parties, decided because they don't want Islam to be shaped, supported El-Rufai, the Muslims in Oyo State did not see it from that perspective, because they don't have the kind of religiosity, Islamic mannerism to think that they should support their brother, and for whatever Ajimabi must have done against them individually, maybe to make the city beautiful, he had to pull down some structures, and he also offended some of his political mates and who left the party. And most of them were Muslims. They did not think that voting for a non-Muslim is antithetical to Islamic injunction. So why the Muslims in Kaduna State voted for El-Rufai? The Muslims in Oyo State were having an axe to grind against Ajimabi. And also they refused to vote for his Muslim candidate, and a Christian became the governor. So that is the problem that we have. But I think, and I pray every day, that the situation, the political calculus should remain as it is now. So, as a Muslim, I have nothing against Atiku Abubakar. But if I have my way, I would prefer a Tinubu presidency than Atiku presidency.
ربي له الأسماء الحسنى تسبح له الأكوان إليه يرجع كل أمر كل زمان وكل مكان ربي له الأسماء الحسنى تسبح